We're going to redo the 50-mile test. I'm going to reset. And I thought, oh no. Yeah, I don't know. What is up, everyone? It's Tara Bosca here, and it is currently Tuesday afternoon. I'm like literally just now getting off work, and we're going to do something that I haven't done for a while. It is long since been overdue, because ever since I put those injectors in and the plugs and the wires, I haven't really tested the fuel range on this yet. So now that we've fixed everything's now fixed, we're going to redo the 50-mile test and see if it's improved or not. I genuinely probably think it's probably improved, because back whenever we were still having the issues with it, you had to almost floor it just to get up to speed with traffic, but now you don't have to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the exact same gas station in Mitchell, go all the way to French Lake and back the same route. Although it is a lot hotter. No, not hotter. It is a little cooler, because back when I did this last, it was one of the hottest days last year. And as you can probably see by me sweating, it's pretty hot. I don't think it's anywhere near as hot as last time, which is probably a good thing, because although this car's been doing good, I've never really driven it more than about 20 miles. So this is going to be a real test. And we'll see how it goes. Whoop. There goes my fake gas cap. Okay. So that's the pump we need to come back to on the way back. So let's hit the road. Okay, full tank. I'm going to reset, and let's go. And actually, the bad thing is that since it is a bit cooler out, I can talk to you guys. I couldn't do it last time because I had to have the windows down because of how hot it was. But because it's now a bit tolerable, I can actually tell you guys what's actually going on. So let's go. Now it's important to remember that while I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep it as steady as possible. Meaning, it's the exact same way as I did last time I did it. That way, everything is the same. I drove the same speeds, same distance, same everything. So this should all still be relevant. Now the rules of last time still apply. I'm still obeying the speed limits. I'm still taking it as easy as possible. Alright, that's why I did that the first time, because I want this to be repeatable. So, I know no one goes the speed limit now, but this time, today, I am, so you're gonna have to deal with it. So yeah, I'm sticking to the speed limits. My speedometer is actually working now. It was just a loose wire before. So my speedometer is now working. But I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did last time, just to get that level of accuracy, because we're testing the injectors and all the fixes that we've done in this so far. So if you're behind me, I'm sorry, but this is science. So now I bet everyone's wondering, why am I doing this? Well, A, it makes a good video, and B, because I'm continuing dailying this, I kind of want to get an idea on what it's going to do to the gallon, because, like I said, I use this every single day, so I really want to see how it does over the course of a trip, because for this to be a daily. I want it to use the least amount of fuel as possible, because again, it makes more sense to daily this than the Charger. But I want to see how good it is, or even if any of these improvements have actually made it more economical or worse. And that's what I want to find out. But the main thing is, I just want to find out. Alright, my curiosity is getting the better of me. So, we'll just keep going and see how it does. Now, for tips on efficient driving, stick to a speed. Especially if you drive somewhere every single day, stick to a speed, so that way you know what to aim for. Because the more consistent you drive, the more accuracy you're going to see in your miles to the gallon range, even with the cost of fuel. Because the way you drive affects that entirely. Like, if I'm driving over the speed limit, you're going to use more fuel going the faster you go. Is the window down? That's going to cause drag. Is the air conditioning going? Is all this stuff going? All this stuff adds up to the end result of your miles to the gallon, especially with how much it costs. So in reality, the best way to get the most out of a gallon of fuel is to just go as smooth and as economically as possible. Alright, you want to set a target to aim for as you drive every single week. I fill this car up every single week, and the numbers are about the same. I would give you a number, but it changes every now and again. It's about the $20 to $25 range. But if you want that level of accuracy, you have to drive the same way, whether other people like it or not. Like, on the way to work, I probably go a little over because I'm getting to work. I need to get there on time. But on the way back, I slow down because there's no point in hurrying if all you're doing is just going home to relax. There's literally no point in just hammering down the highway. Unless you actually need to be somewhere at a specific time. Which again, I don't understand, because if you know you have to be there at a certain time, why are you waiting to the point that you need to break the speed limit to get there? It just doesn't really make sense. And also, it's to the point to where even the police now have to expect everyone to go over the speed limit just because that's what everyone else is doing. Which, that's not a good thing. Speed limits are there for a reason, and we're supposed to obey them, but now everyone has to expect us to not obey them? What's the point in actually having the signs if no one's going to oblige by it? And also, try to stick at a speed that you can repeat every day, especially if you drive somewhere every single day. Just stick to a speed, and that way whenever you come up to fill up again, you can expect about the same number. Because if one day you drive way too fast, you're going to use more fuel, and that's going to affect at the pump. So you want to keep that number consistent. Alright? You don't need to drive like your car's on fire. You don't need to go everywhere like your life depends on it. to work, if you're running late, okay. Just remember that you're sharing the road with thousands of people. All right? You just have to keep that in mind. And also, another way is when you're coming back, take your time. All right? Take your time, especially when you're just going home to relax. Take your time. Just take at least one, just to ease into it, do one drive where you just drive as easy as you can. And then see how it does. Because the more easy you drive, the more MPG you're going to get. And I mean, yes, I like doing burnouts. I like to drive fast, but when you only have one income and you need to eat as much of that as much as possible, filling your car up is a decent percentage of that. So helping you out there helps over time. So just bear in mind that yes, it's fun to drive fast, but you have to be responsible. There are speed limits for a reason. So just bear that in mind. Part of French Lake right here has got to be my favorite part. Just the trees all around you, the tight twists and turns. This has to be one of my favorite roads to drive. But again, I have to remember, I'm not here to put the hammer down. I'm here to see how good the range is in this car. But I've got to tell you, I mean, just look at them. I mean, just a banked left-hander. I'm telling you, once I get the Charger fixed with its bearing going bad, this would be so much fun to drive. I've got to say, I'm proud of this little car. Like, there was probably one point last week where I was seriously thinking, will I ever be able to drive this car again? Because it was just giving me so much trouble. But having now driven it for quite a while, and especially this far, I'm quite proud of it. So, yeah. The Honda is for sure staying. I'm telling you, at one point last week, I was really debating about selling it or, you know. But I'm glad it was just one of the most simplest fixes ever, and she's running like a dream. Still right at half, and she's holding. So, yeah. I'm probably going to reward it later this year once we get the truck done or the Charger done. I'll reward this with something. So, you got that to look forward to in the future. But we're just now coming up to French Lake. We are at the moment 19.8 miles in. Just a little more to go. So, West Baden Springs, we are now in French Lick. Okay, this right here is the road that I came down. The very last time you guys saw it. This is the very same hill that I came up to. We're at 25 miles on the dot, so now we're going to head back and complete this. And I need to do it quick. I'm tired, I want to go home, and I want to go to bed. Just had a brief scare because for a moment while I was behind that truck earlier, my temperature gauge started going up a little bit, and I thought, oh no. But no, it's come back down. It probably just had a little bit of air in it. This is the longest I've run this car so far. So it probably just had a little bit of air left in it, and it finally got it out. So thank goodness, because holy crap, I thought I was going to be in trouble. Because I am genuinely doing this without any way of someone coming out to help me if it does overheat. So, thank goodness. Interesting fact, this genuinely happened back in high school. Our family vehicle was a 1997 Chevrolet Tahoe. Yep, 5.7 V8. It was maroon, 4-door, and it didn't have the barn doors. It had the split tailgate. And fun fact, we came down here, me, my brother, and a friend of his, I think it might have been Clay, went all the way down to French Lake in that Tahoe because I won a competition to where we got free tickets to go to the go-kart track down there. So we went down there to do the go-karts, and on the way back, that Tahoe that we literally had since we were probably in kindergarten, that's the earliest I can remember, overheated and blew the engine. At first we thought it was a head gasket. No, this thing smoked the engine just on that hill back there. We were literally stuck on the side of the road. I think this might have been either Memorial Day or Labor Day. It was one of the days that we were off from school, but we still had football practice. But yeah, we literally blew the engine in it. We thought we just overheated it and probably blew the gaskets, but no. We full on blew the engine on that because I didn't know that much about cars at the time. But what had happened was where coolant goes into the engine from the top, that hose was kinked and was restricting coolant from getting into the engine. And we were just having too much fun that we didn't even realize it until it was too late, because that was the day when our beloved Tahoe blew up. And I was very sorry to see that go, because genuinely, right after me and my brother got our licenses, that was the first vehicle that we were actually legally allowed to drive with our full licenses. That Tahoe. And to this day, I've been trying to find one for me to own and drive. That would be a perfect shop truck for me with this new adventure I'm going on. But I have yet to find one. So if you have a 97 maroon 4-door Tahoe with a 5.7 automatic and the split tailgates, get in touch with me and let me know. Okay, we are now on the main straight, quite literally, and so far so good. So, yeah, I am quite curious, because last time I did this, I know that the fuel gauge never moved. In this case, it's the same thing. It's still very much at the top. So I am very much curious to see what the result is. So let's finish this and let's find out. So we are back here at the gas station at the same pump, but weirdly, this is quite odd, because when I did this test last time, I got 50 miles, but I'm gonna show you this. How am I 1 mile short? Yeah, I don't know. How am I 1 mile short when I did the exact same route? I didn't change anything. I went up the same hill and everything. And we're somehow a mile short. Okay. Okay. Same pump. Here we go.
More comfortable than a flat metal cloud. More enjoyable than seeing your ex change their status to single. So satisfying, you'll wish you had more taste buds. Get Velo Plus inside now.
Now wait. I genuinely don't know if that's better or worse, so I'm gonna have to go home and redo the footage and do the math and see if it was any better. Okay, the results. And I don't know how, but I went back and watched the old video. I went up the same hill, took the same route. Literally almost everything was the same, apart from probably the temperature and the time of day. But I don't know. I somehow ended up a mile short. And I'm not sure. It's still the same tires, still the same wheels. I've not touched anything in the drive-by. It's mainly just been the engine. But I can confirm that in the last time I did it, I actually got 3 results. On this one, I actually got 2. So again, I'm not going to count the first one. I'm just going to go on the last one. Now, the last time that I did this, I ended up with 1.127 gallons of fuel, which works out to 44.7 miles to the gallon. That was before we did anything to it. I think at that time all we did was just the plugs and everything like that, so we didn't do the injectors. But the second time, it was 1.071, which equates to 45.8 miles to the gallon. So all that work, all that headaches for a 0.9 of a mile to the gallon more. Yeah, I don't know either. I really don't know. But it has proven to me 2 things. One, although the Honda is fixed, it still has a little bit of threatening of overheating. There was a couple times to where, again, the temperature gauge started to move. It didn't overheat, but again, it went up slightly and then came down. It is a lot more steady. You only did that twice throughout that entire trip, which, again, has told me it still has its quirks. But the second thing is, I am not taking this car on any long trips. No. This is just going to be going to work and back until later this year. When we have enough time, we can do a deeper dive into what is going on with it. But as of right now, it works perfectly fine, as long as I don't do that again. Because, again, that was kind of threatening. So the car is still fine. It's still going to be driving, but later down the line, we're going to have to look at that cooling again, and I think it might be the water pump this time. Okay, I really think that might be what it is, but that's a job for later. Anyways, I've been Taylor Lebowski. See you guys in the next video. Bye.